How in the world am I going to break past the imposed character limit and actually create a story that's consistent?
The rain came down in sheets, a percussive drumming against the grimy bay window of the mended past.
One of the biggest mistakes I made was not realizing being a nerd, I naturally love books, and as a result, I also love audiobooks. And taking my love for both audiobooks and AI, I wanted to see if I could do something new. My goal was to create an application that created an entire novel and an audiobook from a single prompt. This is something that I've always wanted to do, but I've never really felt it was feasible until now. And I still remember the days years ago where people would always dream about AI one day being able to create an entire novel, start to finish, that was actually comprehensive and had consistent characters and locations and plot throughout. However, in order to do this and do it right, there was a big hurdle I had to overcome. From just a quick search online, it seems like the most text generated from a single AI prompt was anywhere between 200,000 and 500,000 words. The issue is that an average novel is anywhere from 70,000 to over 100,000 words. How in the world am I going to break past the imposed character limit and actually create a story that's consistent? I realized I needed more than AI alone. I needed code. So I created a small application actually using Gemini to write the code. And the purpose of this was to take any text input, expand on it to create an outline, and then to create an entire novel and audiobook from that prompt. And it's safe to say that this application actually exceeded my expectations for it. During one of my first tests, I actually was able to create an audiobook that was around 9.5 hours long and over 113,000 words.
The rain came down in sheets, a percussive drumming against the grimy bay window of the mended past. Each drop that struck the glass seemed to trace the path of an old scar, blurring the neon blue.
So, as it turns out, AI can generate an entire novel, start to finish. And if you want to see how it turned out, I'll link that in the description below, on my second channel, Liminal Echoes. But this process was by no means perfect. One of the biggest mistakes I made was not realizing that Google's text-to-speech API wasn't free. And just in the process of testing my application, I managed to accrue around $200 on my Google Cloud account. And since then, since I realized my massive error, I changed the application to then use the browser's natural text-to-speech, but that also increased the generation time a lot. And that leads to the next big problem with this application: time. So even before I started using the browser's built-in text-to-speech, I was using Gemini 2.5 Pro and Google's text-to-speech model. And that still took over an hour to generate the novel and the audiobook. The reason I didn't use Gemini 2.5 Flash though is because I was more concerned about quality over quantity. It's possible to use Gemini 2.5 Flash for writing, but it's not going to be nearly as good or comprehensive as 2.5 Pro, which takes a bit more time to think about what it's actually composing. Although at the end of the day, if it still takes less than 10 hours in order to generate an entire novel and audio with this application, you still have to say it's a bit faster than any human could do themselves. I can't even begin to express how excited this makes me for the future, because just seeing this idea come to life, something that I've always wanted to do, it makes me realize that there is so much more that is possible to do and create with AI. And the fact that these tools are open source, even if you have to pay $200 to use it, we all have the capability to create amazing things. If you like this video, please be sure to drop a like, and if you didn't like it, leave a comment. Tell me what I could do better and what I can improve. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Also, on my last video, I received my first comment on YouTube, and I was a bit confused at first, because it simply read Fabiano Caruana. I may be pronouncing that wrong. Either way, you're 1000% correct.